Hello and welcome to episode 1 of TEW 2016. This is going to be a series I'm going to be starting on this YouTube channel now. And it is obviously booking WWE in the year 2018. With the mod, it is... let's get rid of that. Okay. It's actually the May mod from the Who 87. But I've pushed it back to the Raw after WrestleMania because it seemed appropriate to start the series from that point forward. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get right into the show. The Raw after WrestleMania starts with Vince McMahon himself coming down to the ring. To the mixed reaction, I guess. I guess they do cheer him, because they cheer him even though they feel like he's like everything wrong with the company, but whatever. And he takes the microphone and he's like, "Oh, welcome to Monday Night Raw." So he goes, "So WrestleMania last night, that was a whopping success. We had a ton of great matches. We saw the return of The Undertaker. We saw him fight John Cena in a dream match. We saw Brock Lesnar defeat Roman Reigns in the main event for the Universal Championship. We saw the in-ring debut of Rowdy Ronda Rousey, and the in-ring return of one Mr. Daniel Bryan. And of course, yes. However, I have more important things on my mind here tonight. The WrestleMania, that seems like a good bookend for a year of WWE. And much as what you may think, I do care about the fans and everything they say about me on the internet. And it's not all good." And he's like, "So from this point forward, I will be, obviously I'll still be a presence here, but most of my main duties in the back, I have officially stepped down from it and hand over to my son-in-law, Paul Levesque, who you may know as Triple H. And he has booked a hell of a show tonight. You're in for a treat in the first Raw under his regime. On the road, the long road to WrestleMania 35 next year." And then, of course, he's interrupted by Big Dog himself, Roman Reigns. He comes to the ring and he's like, "Vince!" Oh, sorry, this film. He's like, "Vince, last night Brock Lesnar was your boy, and you've given him 3 months off, and you've let him keep as a part-time and bitch, keep your title hostage instead of letting a full-time boy like myself take it. And now I read online that you've given him a title match against me at this greatest Royal Rumble pay-per-view we've got coming up in 3 weeks from Saudi Arabia, and you decided to steal Cage. And I just want to know, like, why are you booking this against this beast without me being aware of this?" And he's like, "Roman, I like you. I know everyone knows I like you. And I want to give you a fair shake. And I want to put on the best match possible for the fans of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And the biggest match possible on Monday Night Raw is a WrestleMania rematch between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar." And Roman's like, "Oh, Vince boy, you giving this part-time bitch." And he sort of gets in his face a little bit, and there's no physicality. He's like, don't you shout back at me, Roman, or I'm gonna put you to a test. You're gonna face another beast here tonight in the main event. A beast you're more than familiar with. One half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, Mr. Braun Strowman." And they sort of leave, and then we go to commercial. Yes. We come back and we get just a random match here. Matt Hardy and Goldust. They actually have great chemistry, which is something. I can imagine these two would kind of play off each other well, not a fun sort of match. But Matt Hardy beats him. Well, this just is the note not working. I had Goldust defeated by Bray Wyatt and a tainted finish, but they didn't put the two together. Now after the match, in-ring promo, Charlie Caruso comes in. She's like, speaks to Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, just lingering around, as he does pretty much these days. And she comes in, she's like, "Matt, last week Bray Wyatt helped you win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. how does this make you feel? And he's wonderful, yes. And she goes to Bray, and she's like, Bray, you were rivals with Matt Hardy. You fought him in his own house. Why are you now coming to his aid? And he takes the mic, and still sort of in his like Bray Wyatt voice, but more normal, I guess, than his normal voice. He's like, I have been woken, and he's like, yes. Well, Matt Hardy would do that, so yeah. Just standard promo, delete, all that nonsense, but just sort of just establishing these two as a pair. I forgot I did this. Okay, so then we have Kurt Angle in the back watching this, and he's like doing Kurt Angle things, like how he would react to Matt Hardy and all this. And Braun Strowman and Nicholas, who I've got in, actually as some of them developmental, but I put the picture of Eugene because it sort of seemed to fit. And then just like in real life, Braun coming in like saying we can't be the tag team champions. Nicholas is 10 years old. He's got homework to do, and he'll come back for him when he's ready to wrestle. But yeah, well, we had to vacate the belts because yeah, a 10-year-old had him. Then we have promo, Alexa Bliss and Mickie James in the ring. Alexa Bliss obviously losing her championship to Nia Jax the night before. Just sort of just making excuses, saying, oh, she dominated Nia despite being much bigger and much slower. She'd sort of put like fat shaming, like saying she wore her out because she was tired and blah blah blah, all that bullying stuff. Obviously, I haven't got exactly what they'd say here, but it's just a general promo. And actually, in a tag team match, Nia Jax herself comes out. She's like, Alexa Bliss, stop making up bullshit, basically. And she's like, oh, I beat you fair and square. I've taken a championship, and now you and Mickie are in here continuing to carry this on, even though I feel it ended at WrestleMania because I beat you fair, but we're going to beat you again tonight with me and my partner. And just like real life, her partner is Ember Moon from NXT, who makes her Raw debut here on the Raw after WrestleMania. And they win. But this time, instead of pinning Alexa Bliss, which I understand why they did on the first night, because Alexa's sort of like top of the Raw Women's division, and they wanted to establish Ember as like this threat early on. But she's actually pinned Mickie James here, because I actually do have, like, it is going to lead somewhere for Alexa to not eat the pin here, so I needed to keep her, make sure she didn't. So yeah, Mickie had to take the fall. Then backstage we just get a quick catch-up thing from Sasha Banks and Bayley, and they're sort of watching the telly, and well, Sasha Banks is watching the TV, and then Bayley comes in, and she's sort of like, I can't remember which way it went. I think Bayley eliminated Sasha from the Battle Royal, or one of them definitely eliminated the other, and then that one I believe was, which I believe, yes, Bayley eliminated Sasha. She comes in and she's like, hey, do you want to talk about like the Battle Royal last night? And Sasha's like, no, I don't want to talk to you. And then Bayley's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, it's every woman for herself, I just wanted to sort of hang out. Because, oh, I did forget to mention that Vince in the first promo said that the Superstar Shake-Up would be next week. Kind of an important little detail I did forget to add, but whatever. It's first time doing this on video, it's, yeah. But, and then, so of course Bayley would go, oh, so with the Shake-Up next week, we need to, I want to spend time with you, because, obviously, she sort of turns to her and she's like, it would really suck to lose my best friend. And Sasha like turns back and she's like, yeah, it would, but it would sort of be relieving to lose a rival. And sort of got this tense moment because like they are still technically rivals despite being friends, because they are both trying to be the women's champion. Then we have, yeah, basically a segment that happened in real life on Raw after WrestleMania. Seth comes out as a new Intercontinental Champion, and just pretty much he starts talking about, you deserve it, blah blah blah, with the fans shouting at him. And he comes, yeah, he's on the Intercontinental Champion, this is a workhorse title, blah blah blah, Ricky Steamboat, Harley Race, all them. Open challenge, Miz comes out with the Miztourage behind him, sort of not really doing anything, just sort of looking like idiots like they do all the time, and demands his rematch. But in my world, Miz, he's not cashing in his rematch at Backlash. He's cashing it in at the Greatest Royal Rumble. I believe it's on week 3 of Saturday of this April. And Finn comes out and he's like, Miz, you took the pinfall last night at WrestleMania. I didn't get pinned in that triple threat match. I think I deserved another shot at the Intercontinental Championship. Blah blah blah. And then Kurt Angle, of course, comes out. But then the difference in this world, obviously, Kurt comes out. He says, "Yeah, Miz, you are owed obviously that obligatory rematch that you've cashed in at the Greatest Royal Rumble, and we will get that. But right now, you're going to go one-on-one with Finn." And if Finn beats you, that match, that will become a triple threat WrestleMania rematch. So then we go into that match right now. Actually, supposed to see. And Miz wins. He cheats to win. Curtis Axel and Miz and Bo Dallas sort of distract Finn. And he's actually got Maurice, but ignore him. Yes, and he hits him skull crushing finale and he cheats to beat him. And Finn doesn't get his shot at the Greatest Royal Rumble. It will just be Seth Rollins versus The Miz. Backstage, we've got this is a picture like a camera has a whiteboard on the camera, and there's a big road drawn in the middle. It's basically Titus has drawn Titus Worldwide's road to WrestleMania next year. It's got the WrestleMania 35 logo on there, and he's got Apollo, he's got himself, he's got Dana Brooke, and he's sort of like planning out every single step of the way, just in goofy Titus manner. And then Bar come in and they exchange words. Cesaro's like, "Oh, you've planned all this. If you put this much effort into winning matches and not planning, preparing fake roads to WrestleMania, maybe you'd actually be the champions. Like we are 4-time champions because we don't set the bar, we are the bar, blah blah blah." And Sheamus, he's like, "Oh, we'll give you a fight tonight if you want practice to be the WWE Raw Tag Team Champions, fella. Now they're vacant, we need to put our stock in the hat and put another and become the 5-time champions." And they sort of, Titus is like, "Oh, we don't really want to fight you guys tonight, blah blah blah, Titus Worldwide." And the Bar, they rub out the whiteboard drawings of Titus who's road to WrestleMania, which pisses him off, and they're like, "Yeah, we'll see you in the ring up next." Just a stupid little segment I put in here. And in that match, of course, the Bar, they do defeat Titus Worldwide in 9:02. Sheamus defeats Titus with a Brogue Kick. And Apollo and Titus are actually scoring the same level, which is not correct. And then obviously back from commercial break, you've got Titus Worldwide back in there, back in their locker room, trying to put together his plans he had for the road to WrestleMania. And Apollo sort of like looks at him all funny, and he's like, "Titus, this is I'm sorry. I love being in Titus Worldwide, and I love everything you're doing here, but something's got to change here. We're just losing every single time we get in that ring. Dana, you're a good statistician, but you're not really helping us much else. We're happy to keep you on our books." I don't know, Titus just doesn't know why Apollo's speaking for him. He's like, "Apollo, take a chill. It's Titus Worldwide, not Apollo Worldwide, and don't worry, I've been making some phone calls, and I'm sure things are about to change around here for Titus Worldwide." I will actually just do this is just gimmicks. Great. And below average, which is better than awful, and below average, which is the same. Then we've got, again, much like real life, Ronda and Steph. That exact same segment comes out. Well, it's not the exact same. Ronda comes out first in this world, talking to the fans about how she's overwhelmed by the praise and the kind words she's received on Twitter and everywhere about her debut and how good she looked in the ring. And then of course Stephanie would come out trying to suck up to her like real life. Ronda would go to break her arm in this, but in this world Stephanie would grab the mic after she had her arm broken. She'd be like, "Well, you like Ronda?" To the crowd, she'd be like, "Oh, we'll see Ronda wrestle right now against Sonya Deville," which Ronda wins in about 4 minutes by submission with the armbar. And I'm actually gonna do this because Ronda's gimmick is poor, and now it's still poor. Okay. But Ronda beats Sonya. Then we've got Ronda leaving. Mandy and Sonya go to attack her. Paige, of course, still there, and Paige is like, "No, leave her. I've got something to say." And she cuts the retirement promo, which she did in real life. Again, I'm sorry, but there's some certain parameters I do have to keep. Obviously, Paige retiring. She is retired in the mod that I have. That has to stay, so I just had to book this in here. Pretty much exactly the same as it was in real life. And there'll obviously be an advert break there. We come back and Kurt Hawkins is in the ring. And obviously this being the Raw after WrestleMania, people pretty much know what's about to happen. Because he issues an open challenge. And they always end well on the Raw after WrestleMania, but who is going to answer them? Well, this fellow right here, Cassius Ohno from NXT. With the NXT call, I do find that a lot of the time, most of the people they do call up, they are people from NXT that aren't really doing much at the time. And that describes Cassius Ohno to a T, so I'd rather have him around as a mid-carder on the roster than sort of just doing nothing down there. And he knocks Kurt Hawkins out in 3 minutes. I had to book this finish in because I want to sort of make him stand out. He's not really going to be pinning people, he's going to be just sort of, because he's the knockout artist and all that, he's going to be knocking them all out. Then we just get a recap of everything with John Cena and The Undertaker. I probably should have put Elias in here as well, but I didn't. And they're saying that John Cena will be on Raw next week to address everything that happened at WrestleMania and what his future plans are, so look forward to that. Backstage, just another one-off little segment here. Cathy Kelley catches up with Ohno. She's like, Cassius, impressive win on your Raw debut here tonight. What are your plans here now you're on Raw? And he's like, well, Cathy, of course, my plans, as always, as everyone is here, is to be the champion. And I'm going to knock everyone out who gets in my face. And then these fellows, his good old friend Cesaro, and Cesaro's new buddy Sheamus, they come up to him. And Cesaro's like, ha, a nice impressive win here on Raw, buddy. I've been here for like six years. Yeah, it only took you long enough. Where have you been? And Cassius is like, oh, buddy, you've changed since the good old days, and you should probably ditch this pasty white man you've got here, and we can get the band back together. You know, the old Kings. And Cesaro just walks off, like he's sort of a bit insulted about Cassius even suggesting such a thing. And Cassius is like, wow, that guy, he used to be cool, and now he's just a dick. Then sort of we'd have like a thing on the screen, like hyping up the Braun Strowman Roman Reigns match, and then obviously the static would happen, and then it would cut to a video footage on, I'd say probably Kevin Owens' phone, of him and Sammy. They've recorded it, they've sent it into Kurt Angle, and obviously I'll put Shane and Daniel Bryan in there as well, because obviously they did lose at WrestleMania, they are fired, and they're like, oh, we asked Kurt Angle to come to Raw, and he said no, but don't worry, you haven't seen The Last of Us, we'll find a way to get back, just to sort of keep them in. So I do kind of want to honour the stipulation, because in real life they did just bring them back straight away, but I do kind of want to keep them away from it. Main event time, well, this didn't get a good rating. Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, which is just wrong, because these two always have great matches together. But Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman are in the main event, obviously. I've got the match here, it's going 16 minutes, it's your standard Roman Braun match, two fighting each other, blah blah blah. And Roman goes for the spear, and obviously Braun catches him, gets him up for a power slam, and Roman kicks out. And then Braun, he goes for another power slam, but then someone runs in from the crowd. Given events that happen in real life, you can probably guess who it is. It is Bobby Lashley. He charges in and he spears Braun Strowman and gets disqualified, and Braun wins by DQ. And it's got a C- rating for whatever reason, probably because they're both faces, and it ended with a fuck finish. And then the last segment of the night, Roman sort of just gets the hell out of Dodge, while Bobby Lashley hits a Dominator on Braun. And that's the end of the show, and it scores a C+. Obviously most first shows are pretty terrible, but that is actually the end of the first show I've recorded here tonight. Please do let me know what you thought, and I will see you for SmackDown.